Tony Blakely, thanks for being with us again.
Pleasure.
Let me ask you a big picture question about what's guiding the philosophy in Victoria. Most major nations seem to have ended up in a place where they're saying we have to have our societies functioning. We have to let people open their businesses. We have to let people see their families. We have to let kids go to school. And then with that as the base and using masks and social distancing, then we have to manage however many cases we get. Victoria seems to be saying we have to get cases to a certain low number and then we will reopen society to functioning. Why is that the approach?
That is the approach because we've struggled to keep the caseload under control without getting it down, and we're figuring that we need to bring it down before we open up. So we're trying to emulate, if you like, tight suppression done by South Korea, what's happened well in New South Wales, but we've got to get those numbers down. I think we could probably get them down not quite as far as is in the roadmap before we go from stage 3 to stage 2, which is the major transition.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because you can't obviously stop all movement in Melbourne because you have to have some essential services. So that means you're always going to have some cases in the community. What if we hit October the 26th and Victoria's been stuck for a while at around 15 cases a day and it's not going up or down, but you just cannot get to that 5 number? Then what would happen? Would the population stay locked up indefinitely?
Well, I can't answer that. I'm not the Premier, I'm not the Chief Health Officer, but the way I would approach it as follows. I think that 5 per day, average per day is quite ambitious. And if you've got an outbreak and there's 10 people in one outbreak, well, that's kind of just a bit more than one person. So you've got to bring that expert knowledge to bear and be confident in your contact tracing and confident in your ability to squash down outbreaks and deal with them and move forward. So I think we can change those things a bit, and there are some policies that we can probably implement to help make that transition a bit sooner than October the 26th.
You raised contact tracing. That's come under quite a lot of commentary and criticism. How would you describe the performance of the Victorian system?
Again, I'm not on the inside, but from what I know, is contact tracing now in Victoria is probably as good as New South Wales. It wasn't 2 or 3 months ago, but now it is. I suspect the marginal gains from contact tracing improving are diminishing. They're still there, and there may still be gains from a better app if we had one and with the testing times. But actually the bigger gains I think that might get us into stage 2 faster are around how we manage those small outbreaks and squashing them out really quickly. And also, I'm introducing this idea today of smarter masking. We've done mass masking really well, but maybe we can do things like better fitting masks for people on trains and public transport and in office places because of that aerosol effect. And that would be I hypothesise that would give a nice marginal gain.
So do you have a number in mind that you think that should be set out instead of 5?
Yeah, so I have to declare an interest here. I provided with other people the modelling that informed this, and I think, at 10 cases per day on our model, you only have a 10% risk of a resurgence by Christmas. But I think we can even go higher than 10 because 10 is in our model is for sort of a population across the average. And if you allow for the fact you've got people in aged care, and aged care can pull those numbers down, healthcare, those outbreaks I was talking about before, I think we can do better and use expert judgment to perhaps release a little bit earlier. But that's a job for Brett Sutton, Alan Cheng.
As you say, you're not the Premier, you're not the Chief Health Officer, but you are a Victorian living in this situation. So let me ask you, Victorians did so well with the first lockdown and people are now suffering in this second lockdown because authorities didn't meet their responsibilities to manage quarantine and because the contact tracing didn't keep pace with that first explosion in cases. How do Victorians know they won't have gone through all of this and complied and done the right thing and then be let down again at the government end?
Okay, these are tough questions. First of all, the contact tracing is heaps better. There's no doubt about that. The hotel quarantine is heaps better. So we've made big improvements in that area. But we simply can't guarantee there won't be another third wave because this virus is stochastic, it's chance. It just takes one person getting in and giving it to a super spreader, going to a wedding, even if there's only 50 people, and off it goes. So there is that chance element. And I can tell you that New South Wales and Queensland are thanking their lucky stars at the moment that they haven't seen an outbreak yet. There is stochasticity and chance involved here. I'm hoping that Victoria has good luck now and we get through to Christmas in good shape with good action and good policy to maximise the good luck.
Professor Blakely, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.